Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Jermaine's podcast 2020. And we're here with a special guest from TikTok. Shawna, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Shawna. Thank you, Jermaine, for having me. I'm so excited to talk with you today about what I do. And thank you for your support in reaching out to me to do this.
Yeah.
So I am Shawna. I am the owner operator of Shawna's Rides. That portion is what I own. I'm a Lyft driver for the Phoenix metro area, more specifically the East Valley. And my gig is throwing surprise karaoke parties from one destination to the other. So yeah, and then I post them to TikTok and you guys get to see what goes on in my ride.
Yeah, I think the first time I ever seen you was on my TikTok For You page. Like literally, it blew me away with how like your content. Then I went to your channel, then I scrolled through, and then just watching it is the best. It's
That's
so
awesome.
funny.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad that you guys like it, and that you like it as well.
Mhm.
You know, so every Sunday, I take the full day off because I do have another job. Every single Sunday, I take that day off and I go through all the footage from the weekend, and I get to see everybody's reactions for the first time because, yeah, I'm in the vehicle with them, but I'm facing forwards, so I don't see their reactions behind
Yeah.
me when the light goes off and all that other stuff. So when I get home and I go through all that footage, it's like my favorite part of the day because I get to see everybody's reactions, their performances, and all that other stuff. And so I'm getting to see it for the first time. And when I first started doing this, before I was putting it on TikTok, I was like, gosh, I've got to share this. I cannot be the only one that gets to see this.
Hmm.
And I just knew I had something golden here that just the world needed to see. And so once I was like, I just need to start posting it. In order to do so, I obviously have to have their permission. So when we get to the end of the ride, I ask for permission. Now, for those that are wondering, they do know they're being recorded when they get in my vehicle. So on all the windows entering into the vehicle, on the outside and even on the inside, and I have limo tint on my back window, so you can actually, those notices stand out. They're red and white, and they just pop out, and they're about this big. And it says, I'll just read it from this one on this side. It says,
Hmm.
notice for security, this vehicle is equipped with audio and video recording devices. Consent is given by entering this vehicle. So they know they're being recorded, but what they don't know is that they're potentially being recorded for TikTok and YouTube. So I don't
Hmm.
give that spiel until the very end of the ride, because I want a true, authentic performance from somebody. I don't want them bugging out because they know that they're going to be on TikTok
Hmm.
or YouTube. I want the true reaction. I want the true performance. And then at the very end of the ride, this is how I always end the ride. So I'll turn down the volume as we're pulling up to the place, and I'll say, all righty, so we have just arrived at your location. Thanks for riding with me. Now, before y'all get out, and sometimes I have to shout it because they wanted to get where they were going, but they also want to stay in the vehicle, but they're so excited and they're screaming and talking and getting out. So I had to like yell it to get everybody's attention because, you know, most times when you get to your destination, you just jump out the ride. There's no
Hmm.
spiel or anything at the end of it, but I have to give a spiel because I'm recording. So this is me. So just want to let you guys know, as you can see, I have recording equipment here. I do have a TikTok and a YouTube channel that I post these videos to, but in order to do so, I have to have everybody's permission. And then I point to them, and then they're all like, yeah, you have our permission. Or there'll be someone that'll be like, oh, no. And as soon as I hear a no, or the reaction like no,
Hmm.
anything, the answer is always no. Not even the friends going, no, come on, no, he doesn't. The answer is no, because I
Hmm.
respect that person's privacy, because they didn't know what they were getting into when they got in my car in the first place.
Hmm.
But they were having a good time, but maybe they're professionals. You know, I have teachers that come in here that go wild and out that you would never expect. And they're like, no, there's no way. I don't want my students to see this. I'm like, I respect it. I have big execs that come in here and they sing some of the wildest songs, and I respect it. They don't want to be on there.
Hmm.
And then you just got people that are just, they're shy. They don't want the spotlight on them. And so I respect that. So if there's anybody in my car at any point in time, as soon as I mention the word TikTok and YouTube and they go, no, or no, I don't want to be a part of it, the answer is no. I don't care if the friends even convince them at some point and then they're like, yeah, okay, I'll go on it. The answer will still be no. So if you're watching this and you thought your video is going to be up and your friend initially said no, your video is not coming on here because I respect that person's privacy. It's not going to happen. So I always get everybody's permission. And for those that are in my ride that do give permission, I save their permission video. So that way, if I don't know, 6 months down the road that they're not happy with what the content was, that they can't come back at me and be like, I didn't give you permission. So I save everybody's permission video. So that way I'm covering my ass there. But yeah, so it's a good time. I knew that I had content gold. And so I decided to share it. I was going to do the YouTube route, but TikTok was just so much more popular in content, I think, with stuff like that. And so I decided to create the TikTok account, and I had the TikTok, I want to say maybe 2 weeks before anything really blew up on it. And I think Bryce's video, and Bryce is the one that almost everybody's seen. It's got over 8 million views right now, over 2 million likes. But his video was on my account, I want to say like a week. It was a while. And then I went to bed. It was a Tuesday night. I remember it vividly. I went to bed on a Tuesday night. I had 40 followers. These were friends and family from Facebook that were following me. And I woke up the next morning and I had like 10,000 followers and hundreds of thousands of views. And I was like, what just happened? I was like, what is going on? So like the notification in TikTok only goes to 99 and then it's plus. And so it had that, and I went in there and it gives you all the activity. And it was Bryce's video, just one right after the other, the whole way. And it just went forever. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm so thankful for that video that blew up. But I don't know how TikTok's algorithm works, because their part 2 video was so much more gold than their part 1 video. And their part 1 video is what blew up. Their part 2, if you guys know what I'm talking about, go to my TikTok, go to Bryce part 2, because it is way better than Bryce part 1. So I wish I could control that algorithm, because there's videos that I would like to be just as fillers, just keep you guys entertained until that gold one comes out. It's kind of like being a pop artist, a music artist who has their hot singles on, and then the rest is just other music in there. I wish I could do the same with my content, because Bryce part 2 would have been the viral video. But I'm grateful that Bryce part 1 was actually good. But there's ones that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be gold. Everybody's going to love this. And it's got 10,000 views. Like, I understand that is a lot of views, but still in comparison to the other ones that go viral, you're just like, how did this one go viral? And then this one, like, what is going on?
I know.
I wish I could control it and say, this one go viral, this one does not. So
that's totally the same for me, because if I put so much effort into one TikTok or one video, then I put it out there and I'm feeling very confident that it's going to do good. It just flops. Like, basically it just decreases.
Yes.
And and
I thought that my most expensive TikTok ever video was gonna blow up, because I don't know anybody in the world that has done a video like that. Like, yes, that transition is done all the time, but has anybody done one with the SUV? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I thought it would blow up, and it didn't. And I was like, y'all, this is the most expensive TikTok I've ever done, and it's flopping.
I know. And the ones that you don't expect, like the least expected one that you think is gonna be out there and go viral, it just goes out of the roof. Like, literally.
It's bizarre how it all works. I'm not understanding it sometimes. I really wish we did. But I mean, I guess it's probably that we don't, because then everybody would be like, this one's going viral, this one's going viral, this one's going viral. But I just wish it was the ones that the video that was truly worthy. That sounds terrible. Every video is worthy of it. the ones that like Bryce Part 2 should have been the viral one, not Bryce
Hmm.
Part 1. Bryce Part 1 though was very cute. It was super sweet. They were an awesome group. They were very, very sweet. Probably my most sweetest group I've ever had in my ride. And they had just had a good time. But their performance in Bryce Part 2 was just amazing. And it was hilarious. It was a great time. They had a wonderful time. It was just, it was gold. And yeah, so it just surprises me on what goes viral and what doesn't. So, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I have a question for you. How long
Yes.
have you been driving for Lyft?
I've only been doing this since July. So I think a lot of people are shocked by that. But yeah, I've only been doing this. I think I started July 17th is when I started. So about 3 months.
Mhm.
So
Wow, that is crazy.
yeah, it's actually my most favorite job I've ever had in my life. And I really love what I do as my day job, but
Hmm.
I absolutely love doing this. And I have a great time. I have like these mini parties from one stop to the next. So I get to meet a lot of really cool people, I have a good time. And then yeah, it's pretty neat. I really love it. You're gonna have to come down to the valley. We're gonna have to do some
Yeah.
rides and go ride together and do some karaoke because I've seen some videos. You're singing in some of your videos, so I know you can sing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have actually some family out in the Tempe area as well as Goodyear as well.
Nice. Well, when you come to Tempe, you let me know and we'll have to do some rides. We'll
Yeah.
get you and your buddies and family and we'll go riding for a little bit.
Okay. All right. What inspired you to start your TikTok platform?
Um, what inspired me to do it was just going back through those videos on Sunday and going through them and just seeing like this hilarious content that I had in my security footage. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I cannot be the only one to see this. Like, people need to see what goes on in this truck. I call my SUV a truck. I know it's not a truck, but I just call it a truck. So, but I'm like, people have to see this. And I was like, I'm going to post them to YouTube, but YouTube, I feel like it's a hit or miss
Hmm.
on the videos on whether it's going to trend up. And I thought, well, at least if I do it, because if I did it with YouTube, the videos would have to be in the whole ride, and I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to highlight reels of what was actually going on. And so I knew that if I created highlight reels, the best place to go would be the TikTok
Hmm.
platform, because then it could segue into the YouTube to where they could see the rest of their videos. So they would get the little snippets on TikTok and they'd be like, I want to see more. And then they could go into the YouTube and actually see more of the videos. But I've been slacking a lot on posting on the YouTube, which basically all I'm doing is I'm not doing the whole entire ride,
Yeah.
because some people's rides are 45 minutes long. You don't want to watch somebody for 45 minutes. So basically what I decided to do instead with the YouTube route is that for people who like Bryce or Travis, which is my most recent one, he
Hmm.
still has 2 more parts coming out. And I'm already on part 7 of Travis, and his ride was 45 minutes long. So what I decided to do was for the YouTube, so if you see the video on TikTok and you don't want to scroll through everything, because when something goes viral, it could be weeks ago that this video was made. And then you're trying to
Hmm.
scroll back through to try to find the rest of it. It's difficult. So I decided that one, all my videos are going to have a cover on it so that way you know what the video is. So that
Yeah.
way, if it says Bryce Part 1, then you know you can go back through and try and find Bryce Part 2. And so what I decided to do was just for the YouTube, I would combine all their TikToks together and post it as one video on YouTube. So that way when they go to the YouTube, they can just click on that and then watch all the parts of it. So yeah, Travis's is going to be very long.
Mm. That is
But
awesome what you do and
yeah.
like everything. Uh, who or what inspired you to do Lyft the way you do it with the disco light and also the karaoke?
So I am a researcher. So
Hmm.
when I knew I was going to get into Lyft and Uber, I knew I wanted to research everything, because one, I wanted to research on how to leverage it the best I could, how to not get kidnapped and murdered, how to save money on gas, how to basically know my area to leverage my area and bonuses and all that other stuff. So through doing this, I found this guy's YouTube. It's the Rideshare Guy, I think is what his
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is named, where he gives a bunch of tips and tricks and all these different things that you can do. But I don't think he does anything like this. But through that, I found this guy that posts videos in Hawaii, and he's an Uber Lyft driver in Hawaii. And the only videos I've seen him do is during the day. But
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii is a hot spot destination. So it's a big travel destination. And, you know, the Scottsdale, Tempe area is a travel destination as well, especially because we got Sedona, Flagstaff, Grand Canyon, all but the beauty that Arizona has to offer. But during COVID, I didn't think that there would be much of any content that I could put in those things because a lot of things are still not operating at full capacity
Mm-hmm.
yet. But his thing is he's collaborated with all these local businesses, these like especially the mom and pop places and stuff like that. And he's put together this binder and he puts all that information in there. So like if you want to do parasailing, if you want to go snorkeling, if you want to go to karaoke bars, if you want to go like whatever type of activity you want to do, he puts in this binder, he gives them like a referral link and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts it in the pocket sleeves of the seats. And I was like, that is a really cool idea. But while he's also having these people go through that, he asks them icebreaker questions, more specifically around karaoke. And he'll say, you know, if you guys happen to stumble into a karaoke bar out here, what would be your go-to karaoke song? And, you know, they start going, well, I don't really do karaoke, but if I do, this is the song I would belt out and da 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 da. And he goes, well, cool. And then he pulls out his microphone. I have mine right here. He's got a different one than I got.
Mm-hmm.
And then he pulls out the microphone and they're like, no way. And then so he'll karaoke with them. And I was like, that is genius. My dumbass, when I first started getting into Lyft, is I didn't do it. It took literally someone coming from California, visiting Scottsdale for a bachelor party,
Mm-hmm.
to tell me about their awesome Uber experience that they had in California about this lady who picked him up, had a disco light, karaoke, and all this other stuff. And he was like, you should be doing that. That was the best Lyft Uber that we've ever had. And I was like, all right, bet. I'm going to have to do it now. So after they got out that ride, the rest of that night, I pulled everybody that came in my car that if I had this and this and this, they were like, yeah, it would be amazing. You should do that. I would so do that. And I was like, all right, I'm doing it. So when I got home, I got on Amazon and I was looking for mics. I don't remember how I came across this one,
Mm-hmm.
but I did find it on Amazon, but it was going to take 7 days to get to me. I looked on Walmart, Target, Best Buy, everywhere I could think that I have this microphone in stock. Everybody was out of stock. It was going to take an hour, or not an hour, a week for it to come in. And I was like, I've got to get my hands on this freaking microphone. So I ended up finding it. Of all places, JCPenney had it.
Wow.
JCPenney had it. And so I bought it. It was way more expensive at JCPenney, but I did not care. And so I purchased it and was there in an hour and picked up the mic. And then my original disco light wasn't the one that you see in this video. It's in the videos. It's not this one. The one I originally started out with was this little USB plug-in one, because I have a USB port back here. A little USB plug-in one. It was the best $7 I ever spent in my life. And that's the best $15 I ever spent in my life. And so I was using that for a long time. And then what I didn't like was I would ask them about it and then I would have to take it and stick it and try to find the port and stick it in there. I was like, I got to get one with a remote. And so I did. I bought this one with a remote. I tried to mount it all the way to the back glass, all the way back there and just point it out this way. So like up and this way. The remote didn't reach. So the signal doesn't reach. And I was like, well, shit. So luckily my vehicle comes with 2 moonroofs. So I was able to mount it up there because it was a suction mount. And that was the other thing when I bought the second one was 1, it had to have a remote, and 2, it had to have a better way to mount it. So, but yeah, so those that guy in Hawaii was what inspired me. And then two, it was the universe coming and going, Shawna, hello, you need to be doing this. Don't just watch it and say, oh, that's a great idea. I actually had 6 bachelors come in my truck and tell me, you need to do this. And that's when I finally was like, all right, bet I'm doing it. So, and then the rest is history. So,
That is pretty awesome.
yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. What area do you mostly drive in Arizona?
So I mostly do the Phoenix metro area. For those that is not familiar with the Phoenix metro area, we are ginormous. We're a very huge metropolitan, however you say that. Um, it's huge. And our valley is divided into 2 valleys, specifically West Valley and East Valley. I typically drive in the East Valley. Those cities include Central Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, and Queen Creek. Those are typically the areas that I do my Lyft in. I only do Lyft. I do not do Uber. I only do Lyft, and that's the area that I do. Every now and then I will get a ride that will take me, like last night I got a ride that took me to North Glendale. I've had rides that's taken me out to Sun City West. I've had rides as far as Anthem. I've had rides as far west as deep Queen Creek. Like, I
Really?
don't even know if it's considered Queen Creek anymore. It's that far west or that far east. So I've been as far south as the Phoenix metro area would know what I'm talking about. But the 202 recently expanded past
Mhm.
South Mountain and reconnects to the I-10 west out by Avondale. And as far southwest as I've been is at the hook of that new 202 section. So I'm pretty all over the area, but most specifically, I think last night was the first time that I ever really stayed 90% of my time in Scottsdale. Usually I'm like Scottsdale, Tempe, Scottsdale, Tempe, Scottsdale, Tempe, Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale. 90% of my rides was all Scottsdale, mainly downtown Scottsdale area.
Hmm. Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Might have to come to Tucson for you guys. I know there's some people in Tucson that's like, come see us. I was stationed in Tucson, so maybe one weekend I go down there, I'll do it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Um, how is it doing like multitasking like every week or every weekend, doing editing, doing for Tik or doing your stuff for TikTok, filming, Lyft, and your main job?
It's a juggling act for sure. So I am by day I work full time. I'm a pharmacy technician during the day. More specifically, I'm a trainer. So I train pharmacy technicians, pharmacists, and managers to learn pharmacy technician roles. So before a pharmacist is allowed to hit the floor and before a manager is allowed to hit the floor, they have to learn our pharmacy tech processes. So that way, if our pharmacy technicians go to them, they can say, they'll know how to respond, answer, how to do their job to be able to
Hmm.
assist them in whatever that they need. I also train the certified pharmacy tech courses at my work. So I'm very busy with my job there. And I only do Lyft, the driving part, on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. And then the rest of the time, I'm responding to you guys. I'm commenting, liking, I'm following you guys. I'm going through your content, liking your guys' content, interacting with you guys, and then editing. The editing, oh my gosh. That is like the most time consuming thing I've ever done in my life.
Hmm. It is.
It's so time consuming because you got to imagine the people that I get in my ride, on average, a ride is anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. Some people's rides are 45 minutes, like Travis. And that's why Travis has currently 7 parts and still has 2 more parts that's going to hit. But it's taking this much time and condensing it into this much time of
Hmm.
video for you guys. So it's a lot of, thankfully, I got a dash cam because it records in 3-minute chunks. So I do 3 minutes at a time. So I'm going through 3 minutes of video at a time. taking timestamp notes to say, okay, from this timestamp to this timestamp, I'm going to cut out this and I'm going to use this. And then I cut that out and I set it to the side. Then I go through the rest of the video and I go through the whole 3 minutes first and write down the timestamps of what I'm using. And then I go into my editing app and then I clip out all those things. And then I go back through the editing app, and that's where I add the captions, the GIFs, the different types of things on top of it. And then I combine it all together. And then a lot of the times it's having to rehear everything because you can't fully understand what they're saying, but you got to make a caption for it. So like you listen and listen and listen, and you turn it all the way up, and then you get closer to your phone, like you're just, so yeah. So the editing is probably the most time consuming part of this out of everything. It takes a lot of time. Honestly, it takes 2 hours to edit 1 minute video that you guys see on TikTok. 2 hours for that.
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah, that is crazy. I know for me, editing is not my favorite at all. So that's why on my YouTube channel, I like hardly make any like edited videos. Mostly I just do it like just live, just everything live.
Yeah. It's hard. I would do that, but the videos would be way too long. And there is honestly content in there that even though sometimes even though they say yes, I know that there is something or some sort of comment that they're not going to want on there. That could be defamatory in any type of sense, whether to them, to somebody else, whatever the case may be. I don't want to post that. And so, like, people have asked me to do editing on Twitch and stuff like that. And I'm like, there's stuff in there that should not make it, that's not going to make it. And I don't want it to make it there. I just want you guys just to see the highlights of the funny stuff that I'm cracking up to on my drive. So, and that's what I want people to see. And it takes a long time to edit all those because you got to think that I'm continuously recording from the moment I get in my truck to the moment I get done driving. So I have to go. So last night I started at 7. I got done you were on my live last night when I got done. It was like 3:30 in the morning, something like that, 3:50 in the morning. So from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m., I have to go through that many hours of video to snippet out who I'm using. So what I do is I go through all that and then I condense down and I title those 3-minute segments. And those 3-minute segments, so say for instance, Travis, he had 16 parts. So I would say like Travis part 1, Travis part 2, Travis part 3. And then I would condense all that. And then I transfer it over to an external hard drive to save for later. And then I upload that to my Google Drive and then download it from Google Drive onto my phone to edit through the InShot app, which is what I use. So I have to go through all that. I mean, that's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of footage. That's just one day. I got to do that for 3 days back to back on that dash cam. So it's very time consuming.
Yeah, that is crazy how you do it. I don't think I could. I don't think I could pull it off.
Yeah, and everybody's like, I want more videos, and I'm like, I'm trying. It's so long. It takes so long. I wish I could just be like, here you go, here you go, here you go. It's so long. It takes so much time. It's like a whole nother full-time job.
Yeah. Plus, you have to go through how many hours? You said 7 p.m. all the way to 4 a.m. That long of a time span, and then you have to take 3-minute.
So
each of them.
It does take a while. Usually, what I do is I'll go through the segments, and I'll just randomly click until I see where someone's in my car. And then once I see someone's in my car, then I go to the video before it and the file before it. And then I go through, catch their name, write their name down. Then I'll skip down several more down. Sometimes I can remember if they gave me permissions, and sometimes I can't. And then I'll go down. If I can't remember, then I go down, listen to the last video, give me permissions. Okay, then I go back and then I label the rest of them and then move them off to the side. So I quickly go through it. But it is still so much video to go through. And that process itself takes 2 hours because I got to go through every one of those clips and try and find it. I'm learning how to speed it up. I'm getting there.
Yeah. So I know you have mentioned that you served in the military. So if you would like to
Yes.
cover on that.
Yeah. So I was a diesel mechanic in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force from 2003 to 2006. I didn't serve a full term. I actually got discharged due to some mental health issues. And back then, when I was discharged, this was before PTSD made the spotlight.
Hmm.
And so I was discharged for, I hate saying this, for like misconduct and stuff, but that is the truth of it.
Hmm.
Um, and it all stemmed from my mental health. So I have bipolar disorder, and I was diagnosed with that right after I got out of the military, and they service connected that. So I'm a service connected disabled veteran. And I did 3.5 years, and I really loved it. And I was very upset that I got discharged. I was stationed in Tucson. So I lived in Tucson, Arizona, and that's where I met my current husband. And he retired. And so we're both Air Force veterans. And so I did that for 3.5 years and moved to Kentucky, and then moved back here in Arizona about 2 years ago. So yeah, I was at Davis Monthan Air Force Base, and I had the time of my life while there. I had a great time, met a lot of wonderful people that I'm still very good friends with to this day. I absolutely loved my time in the military. I'm just sad at the way that it ended, because I wanted to be what they call a lifer, which means you do your full retirement through them. So I was very bummed that I got discharged, but yeah, but I very much enjoyed it and have a lot of respect for them.
Yeah. It's pretty cool what you do here on TikTok. And man, you just shined the spotlight on something new to me,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. I don't, it's not an original idea, but I think it's broadcasted in an original way.
Hmm.
So it's definitely got its own uniqueness. And it's, I'm not the star. The stars are the ones that are in my ride. So
Yeah.
they're the ones that help make this into what it is today. So
Hmm. Yeah. Well, that concludes all the topics that we went over. You have any questions for me or anything like that?
when are you coming down here so we can go ride?
I am not too sure because on the Navajo Nation, that's where I'm from,
Yeah.
and we have this lockdown, 57-hour lockdown, and plus the curfew. So
Yeah.
basically, Monday through Friday is from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. You cannot be on the roads. All the stores, grocery stores, everywhere on the Navajo Nation is closed.
Yeah.
On the weekends is a 57-hour lockdown where Friday at 9 p.m. all the way till Monday morning at 5 a.m.
Uh-huh.
is a lockdown. No gas stations are open, no restaurants, no nothing is open.
Wow.
It's like
Yeah, I
a
knew you
ghost
guys were
town.
hit pretty hard. So,
Yeah, it's basically a ghost town, and then if you drive around, they have roadblocks and 1,500 fine or 1,000 fine. So
wow.
that is pretty crazy. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah,
Hopefully you
so
guys will get those things lifted here. Hopefully soon. I know you guys were hit pretty hard with the whole COVID thing, and I'm sorry
yeah,
about that. And I hope everything goes well for you guys, and that you guys get the resources and everything that you guys need for all that's going on out there right now.
yeah.
But just know we're all thinking of you guys, and that when you do get to come down,
Hmm.
definitely hit me up. You have my phone number now. Hit
Yes.
me up. We'll get you and your buddies, and we'll go drive around and party in my truck.
All right. Well, thank you for being on Jermaine's podcast 2020. I know this is very new. And like one day I just woke up, I was like, hey, why not start a podcast with my friends, family, and etc. So next you know, I created a Discord server where everybody can join, and then they give me their consent, they fill out a form and whatnot. And
Yeah.
basically, I would get in contact them. They would set a date and a time, and then boom, I basically made this. So it was pretty
Well,
fun.
I'm
Just one
loving
day.
it. You're
Yeah.
gonna do great. You're doing
Yeah.
great. So it's gonna go way high for you. And I'm
Yeah.
excited that I get to be in the beginning stages of it.
I
So
know.
I'm super excited.
Yeah. And then I've been getting in contact with some other creators on the platform. And I believe next week, I have a couple more people that are going to be joining me, which is pretty awesome.
Nice.
So,
Well, I'm super excited for you. That's awesome. Thank you for having me. I really
uh-huh,
appreciate that. I like
yeah,
being able to do this podcast and have that platform to like give the spiel of how this came to be. So thank you for allowing me to be on your platform to do so.
yeah, it is super great. Thank you for joining. And you have any other social media that these my viewers can come and watch you?
Yeah, so I have my YouTube channel, which is also named Shawna's Rides. So same as my TikTok information. If you, I don't know if they'll have access to it, but if they do go to my TikTok,
Hmm.
I have a link tree URL at the bottom. If they click on that, it'll take them to, I have my Instagram posted on there. I also have my YouTube on there. And then also, if they would like to purchase the mic, they can get it $5 off through my link. I have a link on there for the mic. It'll take them directly to the site. And then the link for my light is
Hmm.
also on there as well. So if they want to click on any of those links, they'll be able to find me and save some money and all that other stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Those will all her social media and the link tree will be down in the description. I'll list it. Make sure to list it. So, yeah,
Awesome. I appreciate it.
you guys can check out my flow page. I actually have a flow page as well at flow.page/Jermaine Carlson, or it is in my TikTok bio as well. So you guys can go check out my Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Discord, all those socials. So yeah, thank you again for
Thank you.
having it. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.